Good morning! Hey! Stop wiping those grubby fingers on my window. Alright, give you one of them. Yes, so today we're going to be, well, first off, I went and started an Eicr on this massive commercial building that's been changed to like a massive walk-in freezer, and the install is absolutely garbage. And when we went on Monday to start the testing, I took the board cover off and we only tested about 3 circuits because I just wasn't in the right frame of mind to be doing it at the time, because we'd went out all week and I went to Chester Races to see the horses, and yeah, when you get into your 30s, the hangovers they last about 4 days, so I just wasn't feeling it at all. When I took the cover off, it was just a rat's nest. So we left and went to a different job. So he wants the duckies. Milo, where's the duckies? What noise does the ducky make? Cack cack. There you are. So yeah, we're gonna get back there now, finish testing the rest of the circuits, and I'll guarantee that there's going to be some beauties of some observations. This is what we've got to put up with. Oh, look at this. We've got to put up with this on the way to the nursery every day. Bloody duckies everywhere. Look at this one here, Milo. Look at this one. There you go, hey, big fella. Hey. Yep. So what I'll do now is I'll take you through us inspecting and verifying and checking a couple of circuits, because literally the 3, 6, 9, 12, no 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, the 11 circuits that we've done up to now, 9 single phase and 2 3 phase, there's been literally observations and stuff for every single one of them. So it's just absolutely, I'm only in a split, like I can't back myself up, so I'll zoom out on this, but it's an absolute mess. There's just like a big 3-phase board and there's no containment for it anywhere. It's like there's like trays across the back and stuff, but must be that the previous electricians and owners only liked cheap prices, and obviously this is what you get. So we'll try and find, I think now we're onto this 3-phase supply now, and it says fridge wagon plugs. Right, I'm going for it. Arv. Right, if I need out, I'll let you know. But this is where we're going up here, because obviously what you can see here now, it's like the other side of this temporary. This wall is -18. It's just a purpose-built freezer, commercial freezer. So I know one of the lads that I know, a Mickey Mouser, he told me to be very careful on top of these. Paul at LimeWire Electrical in Liverpool. If you need a good spark in Liverpool, look up LimeWire Electrical. Oh yeah, so obviously these, what I'm stood on now, I'm going to stick to the edge, because obviously you can see where this line is here, where that line is. Obviously it's like 8x4 sheets, and they must be interlocked or something like that, but obviously this area here, that's the freezer where it goes up, because the ceiling's higher in that place. I don't fancy walking around on top, because I know people have fell through it before and stuff like that. So stick to the walkway, and it's an absolute rat infestation up here. There's just like loads of mad stuff everywhere, so that's why I've got my gloves on, everything. And I mean, we can see now looking down at, it's just an absolute mess. I need to take one of my gloves off. We can see now looking down to the top of the mains, it's just an absolute mess, just no containment anywhere. And yeah, I mean, conduits with twin and earth coming out of them. They just tie up to what, old gas pipes. Imagine that's an old gas pipe, might even still be in use because the gas meter's down there. You can see the big 10 milli bond going to it up there. Let's trace that out before. So now that armoured comes is this one here. So it goes down there with them two. And I think it comes down. I'm not sure which one it is here yet. I mean, look at this, all this. Unreal. What's going on up here? Fixed on its entirety of its run. Sort of kicking out. I could lose connections of anything in there. But I think it's one of these over here. One of them two. So Harvey Douglas.
Yeah.
That's the three-phase, that red three-phase commando socket. Can you give the cable a pull?
I'll do it now.
No, it should be one of these here.
Right, I'm pulling it now.
Yeah, that's the one, mate. I thought it was. Yeah, yeah. It's an absolute shit show.
Yeah, it is down there as well.
So that's that D20. That is. So I've just isolated it. Just whip the cover off.
Yeah, no worries.
Like we can see now, there's no fixings in its entirety of its run. Yeah, it's not really accessible. I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. What, like extension leads and stuff, and like the difference. I mean, okay, there's a petrol can there. There's just like loads of mad stuff going on everywhere. But I don't fancy walking on all that because obviously I'm already probably 20 foot off the floor, plus another 4.5, 5 foot. You don't fancy a fall through one of them, so, and all that is basically an open area. There's a wall that runs through the middle of it downstairs, but you still won't want to walk on all that. So and we can see there's like a little distribution board fixed at the top of it over there, but there's no chance I'm walking on top of that. There's absolutely no chance. And it's filthy, full of rat shit and everything everywhere. And you can see where obviously the old ceiling was and everything, but so obviously they've come in, disconnected all the old lighting trunking and stuff, and then they've just packed in some crap load of installs. Words just do not explain how bad this install is, and the worst thing about it is the company have only just took it over about 6 months ago. They've only realised that everything's a mess, which is pretty bad. So anyway, let's get down and find what's going on with this circuit. So I've just got down now. We're going to find what this D20 is doing. Now it says here, well, we've just verified it's a three-phase commando socket. So let's go and have a look. Let's see. So obviously that where are we now? D32. So what did you just say? There's black's hanging out. It's like it's scripted. This. It's like we've just done this on purpose, but you just unscrewed it and that was there.
Yeah.
That's live. That. Isn't it? Well, it was live before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you just connect it back in there first? And there's hardly any length on it. Look at the state of the shroud. Honestly, it's like they've siliconed the top of it, haven't they? Yeah. So they've siliconed the top of it, like, and there's loads of length on it because I know that because I've pulled some out the other day. And then they've put a load of drain holes underneath it. Just use your fucking common sense, come down and go up into it. If you got to put a drain hole in it, put a drain hole in it, but just common sense, just idiots. Right, so let's write on this now. What was it? 5L123. Let me just go and check, but we'll just write on it. What I've been doing was I've just been sticking on it with a Sharpie what each one is once we've found it and tested it. So I'll let you know in a sec what number it is. So yeah, I mean that's the one that we put up the other day. So why not just do them like that? It makes sense instead of putting a mad amount of drain holes in it. I mean, let's just take you over to this one over here that we found the other day. You laugh your fucking head off when you see how many drain holes are underneath this one here. Again, entry into the top, siliconed all the shroud, and then how many drain holes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 drain holes. Fuck's sake, honestly. Like, mad, honestly, it's fucking mad. So, and it's running the gutter, that. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 4L123. Right, I'll write that on it. Neutrals just fell out as well. This next circuit we've just found. Go on, I'll say it. Where does it go?
Just goes straight out the board, up there, no cable ties, nothing, all the way over there, drops off the shelf there and then across the floor down onto there.
Oh, so it jumps onto the freezer roof.
Yeah, onto the freezer.
And then drops down off that. Because above this ceiling, there's like a 4.5, well you saw it before, a 4.5 foot shelf to jump up to. And it's on a, what is it? It's on a 32 amp. Yeah. It's on a 32 amp MCB. It's a 16 amp socket, and it's wired in this. Is that black? 3 black cores numbered, aren't they? Yeah. 3 black cores numbered. It's 2 point. It's not 4 mil. Definitely not. So it's just every circuit. Like there's that double socket and that fuse spur. There's 2 knockouts out of that. Them boxes. So. Where are we here now? So offices, it says offices, it's not, it's this one here. So you know what I mean by this black cable, it's the same as that. You can see. So it's not might as well be an unshielded SY cable. Basically, it looks like a tail. It's blended in like one of the tails, isn't it? Look at that. That's what it is. Looks like a tail. And it goes up and all the way over that way. Every single circuit on this needs ripping out, needs cable train everywhere or some kind of containment, and then a new board going on. And this circuit's doubled up. There's where the tails. We'll get the mega clamp meter out of the what's it called? Out the bag. I just want to measure these tails. I mean, look at where the tails come through, and they're just sat against that, and you can feel the warmth on these as well. And when you get your thermal camera on that, Jesus Christ. Emergency lights don't power anything. Oh, there's a feed there. None of the emergency lights work. There's just stuff everywhere. There's knockouts everywhere. There's armors that haven't got earth tails on them. There's hardly any RCD protection. I mean, we've put these 2 in when we've upgraded 2 of the commandos. So let's see what's what's happening now with these. It's the full board need ripping out. And obviously there's where it's burnt, because obviously it's a Moella board with a Merlin Duran replacement switch that doesn't fit in the hole correctly. You can see where L1 must have burnt out last time. Loose connection maybe, but yeah. So observations on this circuit up to now, we found that it's not fixed throughout the entirety of its run. There's no support, cable support anywhere. There's no containment. Yeah, it is an SWA, but it's just lay on top. There's loads of excess just hanging about upstairs. Yeah, upstairs on the top of this, it's basically that's where it runs, is along the shutter line up there, and then down. I jump down onto that, and that's where it goes down out there. So it's not fixed throughout its entirety of its run. It's a 32 amp. It's a 32 amp outdoor socket with no RCD protection. So it's a 32 amp or less socket, especially for outdoor use, should be RCD protected. So that's another observation. I've put an observation down that the enclosure is just terrible. It needs re-terminating, because the state of that gland, it's going to fail eventually. That in the next year or two, I'd say definitely. So I'd say that needs sorting out as well. Anything else? What I've found on this circuit up to now? No. So. Well, actually, yeah, I think it's a 2.5 SWA, and going off cable calcs, a 2.5 SWA, I'm pretty sure it only carries 30 or 31 amp. A 2.5 SWA isn't rated for 32 amps, so I'll have to have a look in the book in that. I'm pretty sure it's not. There's a few people that will know that off the top of their heads, but I'm pretty confident through past experience that a 2.5 SWA does not carry. Whether obviously it changes between the number of conductors in the cable, so it'll be less and more with the different changes in numbers of conductors, so it'll go up and down a couple of amps. But I'd be surprised if this is right. This anyway, just from everything else that we've found. So 2.5 SWA 4-core, yeah, it's a 4-core brown, black, grey and blue, and they're using the sheathing as the earth. So 4-core 2.5 SWA. What is the current carrying capacity? Ooh, we'll have to find that one out. But yeah, I'm gonna put that down as well. Usually I'll do this on my laptop. I'll do this on my laptop as well, but I didn't fancy bringing my laptop here because it's an absolute shit tip. So I've just been basically writing down each circuit, page by page, each one we're finding. So I'll write this down, and then we'll do the R1R2s. I would like to have, if I show you, I would like to have, when I've done the R1R2, I use a link lead, because usually what we'd do is we'd disconnect L1, L2 and L3 and connect them into the earth bar, but they're not long enough. So I just did it across each one and took the highest reading, and then obviously highest for the ZS as well. And yeah, and the IRs were, what were they now have? The IRs on L1 was 19 point something, which is still fine. Well, it's there's something wrong somewhere. There's a bit of damp in it, I imagine. But the L2 black and L3 grey were both greater than 1,000 megohms at 500 volts. So yeah, there is something going on with that cable, probably around that gland. So I'd probably re-terminate it, refix it, and I don't know, just probably just rip it all out and just start again. You could probably use the cable because there's loads of it, and reroute it properly to the right position. But yeah, so then that circuit then was plant room power C20, a 2.5 twin and earth, just dangling, floating all the way. This C20 here is it's this little tinkler there that runs up there and goes all the way down there. That all sat on that metal around the corner, just not even fixed to anything, and then into a plant room, into a double socket. I'm gonna have a look at that. So these plant room socket and lights, what it says, I think I was talking about this the other day, that it's hot in here, very, very hot. That what they've done is, somebody's changed the light in the past, and instead of reconnecting it into the fuse spur, they just put it on a plug top and plug it in, haven't they? There's a big hole in the side of it. Hole underneath. So it's literally every single circuit in this installation has got something wrong with it. It's absolutely mental. The absolute state of this installation. It's so bad. It's so bad, this installation. It's so bad. Yeah, that's all we can do is investigate, can't we? Bastards. So, I mean, even that's just fell down. I don't even know if that's the key for it or not. Anyway, I'll try and lock it anyway, all of this. So it all looks all good and well down here. Nice new UFO, low bay, Ansel UFO, some non-corrosive fittings, some HQ eyes, but then when you look at it from above, I'll show you the state of it above. I mean, that's our new light. It's 35,500 lumen what we've put in, and I'll guarantee it's dogged in somewhere, wired somewhere really badly. But all we've done is price to replace the lights to get started, because not a load of lights didn't work. So we've replaced lights onto circuits that are absolutely fucked, basically, that need rewiring. Well, it's just, it happens sometimes. It's the what happens. Oh, yeah, it's pitch black in here, and we've put 2 Ansel UFOs in, but cool down now. So that is it. Wow, I'm absolutely cooking up here. I'm on top of the freezers now, so I'm above. I'm on one of the walls, so there's no chance that I'm walking. There's no chance that I'm going to walk into the middle of there, because that's like the middle, the Arctic flex there that's got the red taped up connections in it everywhere, is on the wall, in the middle of the floor. I'm walking along the wall here, because obviously we don't know, these are like 8x4 sheets, 100mm thick fridge. It's basically a fridge, freezer. We don't know if the I don't know, like tongue and groove together, or is the metal bars between them. And I've heard the story obviously when somebody's fell through one, so there is absolutely a unit like me that's 16.5 stone is walking anywhere across that. There's absolutely no chance. But I mean, the state of some of this shit up here, it is unbelievable. Like taped up connections everywhere. There's live connections open on the show. You could probably touch between 5 and 6 open connections what I've seen up here up to now. I mean, there's another one. Let's just zoom into that. So that feeds our new 35,000 lumen floodlight. That's what that cable is there that we replaced in the previous video. I mean, that's how bad it is. All I've done was price to come and replace the lights, and I just advised on the ICR, and this is what we're finding now. I left the ICR till last because I didn't want to do it. I didn't fancy doing it, but maybe we should have done it first now. there's shit everywhere. It's absolutely, there's shit everywhere, I mean. There you go. There's one of our Ansel LEDs into this. Look at that's where that comes from. That's where the Arctic Flex comes from. So there you go. Honestly, just fucking laziness, and people have been paid to do that. Somebody's done that. If I'd tell you what, if I couldn't do it, because if I did something like that bad, I'd go home and sit down and be like, it'd just play on my mind that I've done such a shit job and I've walked away from it. So that's it for that one. Me and Arv have inspected that board. I mean, there's loads of sub boards and stuff off it, and sub mains, plant room boxes, but all I've done was agreed limitations. Extent of sampling was that we were only testing and inspecting the DB1 and the final circuits that were feeding the warehouse area, the lighting and the sockets and stuff, because it just looked terrible. So I only quoted for that, and obviously it's down in me extent of sampling and agreed limitations and everything. So God knows about the rest of the installation, but that is just absolutely terrible. Definitely the worst commercial installation I've ever tested, and I've tested some shit before, but that was like on another level. That it's mad that like these companies, like that company there, you can see they're all hard working lads, and that it look like a good company. They were great to deal with from the get-go, from first contact through to issuing the report, and I've got to go through and explain a lot of the stuff with them, but they're brilliant clients. And it's just a shame that they've took out a lease on a building that they thought was suitable and good and safe, but obviously it isn't. And it's like the domestic scene, the PRS come out and all the private rented sectors. I don't know how true it is, but 1 in 6 properties in the UK, 1 in 6 domestic homes is a private rental, and you imagine how much revenue it created for us electricians. But it's mad that maybe some installations do have safety certificates and electrical install certs, but a lot of them don't, and that is just a prime example of there not being one. So there's lots of remedials to do, lots of shit to polish, lots of turds to polish, and yeah, so that's it for this one. So do us a massive favour. I'm gonna start trying to get one out every week now, a little video. So do us a favour, like the video, leave us a nice comment, let's have a laugh, and subscribe. The most important thing, subscribe. We've got to think about the kids, think about my kids, think about me. Come on, subscribe, like. Peace out, all the best.